suddenly decided to stop going into work. A business big enough that it could be listed on the NASDAQ goes belly up. Disappears. It ceases to exist without me. No, you clearly don't know who you're talking to, so let me clue you in. I am not in danger, Skylar. I am the danger. A guy opens his door and gets shot, and you think that of me? No. I am the one who knocks.
Yo, what it do, everyone? It's your host with not so much the most, Classic Craig, coming at you with the first edition of my very own show. And going down with the drum roll, I don't have any sound effects, but I decided to call it Loud and Clear. Yeah, man, how's everybody doing? How's everybody doing tonight? We have a special guest gracing our presence on the whole effing show and paradigm shift. But yo, Ratchet, what's good, man? You around? Oh, dang, he's still gone. Golly. But that's all cool, folks. That's all cool, ladies and gentlemen. But I'm going to introduce the man of mystery, the one and only superior scholar, the pseudo-slanderer, and the pseudo-slayer himself, Google Scholar. What it do, Chief?
What it do? Peace to everybody. How y'all doing?
Yeah. Peace to everybody. All right. G-Man. This is a special show dedicated to you at the end of the day, right? Now, Google, I want you to tell everybody about yourself, man, and what brought you into the fold, into the conscious community, into the scholastic gladiatorial ring. You know what I'm saying? If you don't mind, sir.
Well, what brought me? Well, like everybody else, I was raised Christian, right? I was going to church. I was raised up in a Baptist church first and foremost. At about my teenage years, I stopped going to the Baptist church and I started going to a Seventh-day Adventist church,
Right.
And so I was there, going through studying Christianity. I was very interested in more like church history and stuff like that. And so I started, going through, and I started coming across certain topics that we never discussed in church, And so I started going through. One of those questions that we always came across was the whole creation evolution debate. At the time when I started looking into it, I didn't know anything about evolution. I went to school. We learned biology in school, but they didn't really teach us about evolution.
Right.
So at the time when I was looking at it, at that point I was a creationist. But the more I look at it, the more I started to, to doubt what I learned in church, and so I started doing more and more until I came to a point that the information that we learned in church is just not adding up, and so I went on a quest. I decided to find the truth, and the more I searched, is the more I lost my faith, and I just couldn't square what I've been taught with the information that I've learned during my quest. So that's where I came from. How I came into the conscious community is, you know, after having been in the online, I was mostly in the spaces where you have non-believers, atheist types, but it was mostly like the European non-believers, right? And
Right, right.
so, going through and through, I came across Sarnetta. And,
The God
this,
himself.
yeah, the Godfather, way back in the day. This was in the days of people like Ali Muhammad and way back then, you know.
Right, right.
Yes, and so I came across, and I watched a few of his videos, and I wasn't really convinced of what they were selling, but I like the idea of a more Afrocentric kind of message that they presented. At the time, I was still also big into like the whole creation evolution thing, and that led me down a path toward like ancient aliens things. I was a big ancient aliens fan at the time.
Ooh, it's the ancient alien fans.
Yeah, yeah. And
Whoa.
so yeah, so Sarnetta is really my introduction into the community, and from Sarnetta, I branched out. I started going on to the pseudo killers once in a while, and I came associated with all these groups, and so this is where I am today. Still a non-believer, but I like to think that I've grown somewhat.
Okay. Okay. So for those of you who don't know, right, Google Scholar has I'll put it to you like this. He has a target on his name, right? Because of the name Google Scholar, right? And I'm gonna let him explain it, right? So Google, right? Why did you call yourself Google Scholar when, especially when it has such a negative, connotation? And me seeing being in chats with you and stuff like that, a lot of people be like, "Who the
Mm.
hell is Google Scholar? Why would you say that? Or why would you just enlighten us on that too, Chief?"
Okay, so the name Google Scholar, I really just picked it as a sort of a tongue in cheek because what's happening is that when I started debating like Christians and Muslims and stuff
Right,
about this scientific stuff, I used to we used to like go to scientific journals and stuff, but the journal articles sometimes are hard to read. So what I would do instead is try to get like articles from reputable kind of sources, and I find that if you go to Google Scholar, the section of Google that deal with Scholar, it's an actual part of Google that you can subscribe to, and you can get like the latest articles from the different places. So I subscribed to that, and I was using Google Scholar to you know to back up a lot of my information that I was coming with. And at the same time, people were talking about people who only go to Google to get their information. And
right.
so I think it was on Savior's channel. I was talking to somebody, and they asked me where I study. I said I didn't study anywhere. I'm the Google scholar, and so from there, I just use that moniker, and that's
Yeah,
what I've been using since.
yeah, and they because sometime and when you having these little dialogues and debates and stuff like that, especially when it's put a lot of information and egos on the line, right? A lot of people
Hmm.
just spew out stuff verbatim, you know what I'm saying, off the dome.
Hmm.
And a person go on Google right quick and they'll say, well, let me check what he said, let me see what he said and stuff like that. So you check it and that motherfucker be wrong as hell, like
Yeah.
wrong as hell, all the way left. You know what I'm saying? And when you tell the motherfucker, yo, hey, I went on Google and you're a Google scholar. You had to go on Google and do all this. So it's not really genuine because it didn't come from the heart of the mind, crazy stuff like that, right? But
Yeah.
You were just checking the person's information that they were so confident in, even though it was wrong. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah. I want to say that they can discredit it all they want, or cast aspersions in it. A lot of these people have information that from sketchy sources, but none of them are able to get around Google Scholar, because Google Scholar is a formidable resource if you know how to use it, and
Right.
so they can cast aspersions on it, but they can't get around it.
Right. They can't get around it. They sure can't get
Mm-hmm.
around it. Oh, right. Um, so this is the thing right here, Google.
Mm-hmm.
So I have to ask you a few things, right? Because really,
Mm-hmm.
the show's called Loud and Clear. You know what I'm saying? That's my brand right there. That's my baby. That's my brainchild. So here
Okay.
in Loud and Clear, right, we're gonna get things, clear at the end of the day, right?
Yes.
So here's the thing, right? Now, I'm pretty sure you're very, very, very familiar with all the do's and the don'ts within the community, the conscious community and the pseudo community.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah, I got you.
here's the thing. What is your objective of debating and dialoguing with individuals? What is it? What are you trying to achieve, Chief?
Okay. I am somebody who believe that as a community, um, the way to move forward is to gain more information. But I also believe that not just information, but factual information, valuable factual information. And so to
Mm-hmm.
get to the factual information, we have to get rid of the false information. And so my objective is to have us as a community um, believe or accept as much factual information and as little false information as possible. So if the objective is to have us grow via factual information, that's the objective at the end of the day. I want to say the reason why I engage in dialogue and discussions and even debates is that I kind of like it. It's I guess it's say it sharpens the mind and it allow you to think differently and hear other people's perspective. So I do it, one, because I believe it's important for advancing the community, and two, because I enjoy it also.
Okay. Okay. And that's cool. That's clear cut and honest. You know
Hmm.
what I'm saying?
Hmm.
Everybody enjoys a debate. Everybody enjoys a dialogue. Everybody enjoys to uh, speak intellectually amongst peers. I mean,
Hmm.
cold cut and clean. But now this is the major thing right here, right? So
Hmm.
Google. So your whole objective and your mission is to bring about clarity, basically, and understanding and advancement. That's very, very harmless at the end of the day. I respect that, right? But
Okay.
what would you do if you're dealing with individuals that refuse to accept your generous invitation for advantage?
Well, it, I'm gonna use myself an example, right?
Uh,
The first time I heard about a lot of when I was a Christian, right, and I heard about things like atheists talking about the God not existing and stuff. I blocked it out, even though in the back of your mind you have some lingering doubts, but you blocked it out and you ignore it and you categorize it in a way as crazy so you don't have to actually address it. So I feel like a lot of people do that, and but what I always remember is that you can hear something today and it doesn't actually change your mind today, but as time goes on, it's like a seed planted, so it takes a while for it to germinate and grow. So all you can do really is give people information and give them the correct information. And some people are going to refuse it. Some people might accept it right away, but most people are not going to accept it right away. Some people will accept it in the short term, and then some people will be more go forward in the long term, accept it, and some people won't accept it at all. So you just have to um, see it that way. And also, when presenting information, you have to consider that you're basically both, when you're dialoguing with somebody, you're both doing the same thing. You're trying to convince each other of the other's position. So even though you think you have the correct information, you have to think from the perspective that the other person also thinks that they have the correct information. And so it's a dialogue, and it's an understanding of the other person. But you, at the end of the day, you have to understand that you might not be able to convince that person, but all you can do is present the information.
Mm. All you can do is present the information. So, okay. Now, this is the thing right here, right? And this is something that it caught my interest when you said this, right? You said when you were a Christian, you blocked it, right?
Hmm.
So during that time when you was believing in sweet baby white Jesus, you know what I'm saying? Um, why did you block it? Why did you?
It wasn't a conscious effort to block it. You have this thing that has been a part of your identity for your life,
Hmm.
and somebody comes and tells you, yeah, this actually is not true. You've been told a lie. It's not an easy thing for a person to accept. And so the blockage is not really conscious. It's more of on a subconscious level. Actually, it's a bit of a skill to try to see past your biases, because most people cannot see past their biases. So if you're a person who are able to see past your biases, it actually is showing growth on your part. So a lot of people, I think, have some growing to do, because a lot of people cannot see past their biases, and I believe that's the most important thing, especially when you're engaging in the gathering of information. You have to learn to see past your biases and understand that you have a bias towards this, and so when you're assessing this, you have to be extra careful with the information, so as not to let your bias or your bias cloud your judgment in a particular case. So that's the way I look at it.
Okay, that's very interesting. But real quick, I gotta say shout out to DMG the poet. Hey man,
Mm.
get that man book, get that man
Get it.
t-shirts,
Get it.
that
Get
man
it.
a
Peace, DMG.
subscription to his
I'm
new
gonna get
channel.
that book.
Yeah,
Yeah, we gonna get that book. We all gonna get that book. We all gonna
Mhm.
get it, y'all.
yeah. Ratchet
Make a
like,
pledge to get that book, y'all.
yeah,
Y'all best rock out with the channel. Get that book, man.
yeah,
And
ratchet.
Yeah.
also, if you loving this interview so far, give us a like. It don't take much to do that. Give us a like. Give us a fire sign or great job or something so far. I'm loving this interview. It's smile right now.
Yeah.
Right
Hey,
now, it is smile,
we got
and I
JJ.
like it. It's
We got
building up to something.
JJ. Give me a goddamn like, bro. This is my show. Give me a like, fool.
Yeah, JJ, give him a like, JJ. Come on, bro. We go way back,
We go
like
way back.
two.
Give me a damn
Yeah,
like, bro. Don't be
we
a hoe.
down like 4 flat tires, JJ. Come on.
JJ gotta give a like. Me and JJ has always been cool. We never had no beef or nothing,
Yeah,
so he
this
gotta
Google
give us a like.
Scholar, bro. Yeah, we this Google Scholar. You got to do it for Google Scholar, and we've been down for you for like 4 flat tires, especially classic Craig.
That's
But
right.
yeah, especially classic Craig. He was down before I was down. So give him a like.
Yeah.
Hey, Craig, I got to play your intro. I ain't play. I ain't know you had an intro, Craig. So Google Scholar, let me play his little intro. It's just 1 minute long. And let me
Do
go
your
out to
thing.
promote. Yeah, promote this guy. We're gonna get right back to it.
Be right back.
yo. Let me tell my one time. Look. I exist in all dimensions, flesh bound. The stale money from the mattress, bought a fresh pound. Leather on the steering wheel, it got my palm chilly. Short necklace with the long willy, calm really. And it ain't even about the fame, it's about the bread lost. The intern, shorty take me to the boss. Know they tried to count me out, but couldn't count high enough. I ain't gotta hear the album, listen to them lie enough. Bad little baby fed by the cornbread. I don't need designer, I wear my own thread. Take it from the label, put it in the homestead. I don't borrow little, I loan bread. I do it for the underground that ain't promoted. Crumble up the cookies, got me coughing like the COVID. Go straight from Saudi to Audi, coming from Germany. I ain't gotta speak when I enter, the winners heard of me. Feeling like the summer beach side in the winter. With my lords throwing east side out the Sprinter. Used to borrow mama's whip, I had to drop some gas in it. Use my own, and now I got it dropping, and it sliding through.
Man, this is why you got to go get DLG book, because he the one who made this. This is a very creative guy, so I know his book gonna be great. And thank you, DLG. Craig, I know you want to say a few things, but DLG made it, and I had to upload it. That's why I came in on my other account right quick to upload it. I know y'all see this strange activity, but yeah, that's why I did it. DLG, nice job. Appreciate it, brother.
Yeah, thank you, DMG. Thank you, DMG. Thank you a lot, man. But yeah, man. Hey, subscribe to DMG's channel, man.
Paradise Shift TV 314.
Yeah, and get his book, man. If you don't, man, Ratchet and me will troll the hell out of you, man. Just ask JJ. You know what I'm saying? But other than that, Google, it looks like you have an individual that say you are. Woo! Look at this.
Say it, Craig. Say it.
Hold on, I'm gonna read it in the voice I think he speaks in. But
okay, you said the voice you think he speaks in. Go ahead.
That man is biased. I mean, that man is more biased today than he ever was. He has argued with studies and meta-analyses on various occasions in discussions with me. He called them bullshit. Yeah, that sounds like Google. Without reading them.
That sounds like calling bullshit.
Yeah.
Good boys. Do use some very big words too, bro. Cut that out.
Meta-analysis is at Google. Okay, what's up with that, man? You disregarding meta-analysis? And hold up. And I keep all receipts, so call me on it. Ooh.
Oh, yeah. Crank it up.
Yeah, you know how we all have haters? That's one of my haters. So, I have had discussions with him before. I find that well, no, let's not say like this. He's somebody that I had discussions with. He has he's a Christian, and so I think he resents the fact that anybody who is not a Christian, that he thinks he uses logic, and so if you're not Christian, you don't use logic. Of course, I disagree with him. He also is a science denier, so there's that. He will pay lip service to scientists and science, but at the end of the day, either you accept science or you don't. And I call him a science denier. But I'm not here to talk about him. If there's a question or a comment that he like to make, sure, I welcome it. But I don't particularly have anything to say about what he's saying there. If you want to ask a question or if you want to bring a comment about me, that's fine. I have no problem with it.
But I gotta say this, Google, it's cool, man. Some of my haters follow me too, man. As soon as I did my first show one time with Ratchet, man, my whole right there waiting on me. Right, couldn't wait, right there at the door. But I understand completely. But shout out to the Nerdy Brew. The Nerdy Brew. Yo, Nerdy Brew, please leave your channel down so people can go like and subscribe. You know what I'm saying? Nerdy Brew is a Hebrew. He's a Hebrew, ladies and gentlemen. You see the brew at the end of his name. You know what I'm saying? If he
Yeah.
said he's not, he's lying. And he shouldn't lie. Like,
That gave it away.
Facts.
yeah,
He got brewed tonight. He tried to tell us it's about tea or something. Oh, no, the little lame excuse he make. But I will believe it. You're a Hebrew.
Yeah. I mean, why black people brew tea anyway? You a Hebrew.
Black people do not brew no tea. You right, bro.
Yeah. But yeah, Nerdy Brew, man. Please, Nerdy Hebrew, please leave your your channel on so we can kind of like and subscribe to it, man. If y'all like movies and updates and stuff like that, that's the guy to go to right there. Real good content from a real cool dude. But anyway, getting back to the whole mix. So Google. So of course we already established you have individuals that say you are lying. And the dude says at the end of the day, and now he's lying, I don't deny science, never have to say I'm lying so I can prove him a liar. Boy, that's strong accusations, Google, but we gonna get back to that. We're gonna get back to that later. But so this is the thing right here, Google. You said something that was very interesting, right?
Okay.
You said subconsciously blocking, right? And you explained your point of it when you were challenged on your belief, right? Now, do you believe that this is you know what, I'm just gonna be just funny today. I'm gonna call it a disease. Do you believe that this disease, right, is something very, very present with Black people today?
Oh, you mean the cognitive biases? Yeah, I do believe it exists in all people, really. But yeah, I do believe it's an issue. Well, I don't think it's an issue so much. I think the issue is is education in terms of getting us to understand that we have biases and getting us to train ourselves to take into consideration our biases when we're assessing any type of claims, or when we're using epistemology, right? We have to recognize the fact that we have biases. These are our biases, and we have to take them into consideration.
I understand that completely. So, but I understand that everyone has that, right? But this is my bias right here at the end of the day. And I got a little bias in me. I do say honestly that Black folk have it 10 times harder than any other race when it comes down to something that they strongly believe in and something that they are comfortable in also. You see what I'm saying? Um, from experience, and even being a participator of it myself, because it takes a hell of a lot to pretty much surpass the limitations of your own comfort zone. Watching individuals dabble, dance, and pretty much root themselves into what they consider to be true, even though they know it could possibly be a lie, is very, very depressing at the end of the day. And me personally, I say it's one of the greatest issues within the Black community. You know what I'm saying? Greatest.
Yeah. No, I get your point, and to some degree, I sort of go with you halfway, but not the full way, like right.
Right.
But I don't believe I don't believe it's a human condition, is what I'm saying, and it's something that what's needed, I think, is education in terms of you know training us to recognize these biases and these shortcomings in our reasoning, and try to address them when we're trying to assess situation.
Right. Okay, so this is why I kind of say what I say with this right here, Google. All right, so you have individuals that let's just say they receive this training, right? To pretty much go beyond their comfort zone, right? But they still try to revert back to what's comfortable to them at the end of the day. You see what I'm saying? Like you have I'll give an example, right? You have individuals that actually studied Islam, right? And
Mm-hmm.
I know because but
Mm-hmm.
they'll look at the Islam here and say this is the way and the truth because they have someone they can relate to, you know, that being, other African Americans, and they'll look at Elijah Muhammad like a Jesus figure or something like that, right? Even though that they know that this Islam is pretty much in a lot of ways recognized as a pseudo religion, you know what I'm saying? But they'll
Mm-hmm.
still disregard that and say that, you know what, this is true Islam. I don't care what you say. Okay, those other guys over there doing Islam over there, I don't know what the heck they're doing. Maybe they got it from us and they're hiding it from us. You see what I'm saying? Like you have
Yeah.
individuals who that Google. You know what I'm saying? This is why I'm saying maybe it is more. It's just ingrained in black folk, right? Them
No,
specific
I
down
get you.
what's true and what's not. Because a lot of times what we do, we want to believe something that we know from a shadow of a doubt. If we challenge it, is not necessarily true because other blacks pretty much in a lot of ways cling to it. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. No,
So
it's. I get the point you're making in terms of knowing that something could quite possibly be false, but holding on to it nonetheless. I don't disagree with that part of it. The only part I'm not convinced about is that it's a black people thing. I think it's more a human condition. That's the only quibble I really have with it. You know?
okay, okay, okay. So I understand you're looking at it from a broad perspective. You're not just limited at looking at your own people. And
Yeah.
and I understand that completely. You know what I'm saying? Like me personally, I look at the world, but I look at my people and what they're going through, what they're doing, and how they are. You know what I'm saying? Um, so check this out, right?
Hmm.
Moving forward, right? Now, this comes down to the hitter right here, right? So Google, what is your relationship with the word pseudo?
Okay. Pseudo, as in pseudo science or pseudo linguist. Pseudo is a term that just means false. In terms of pseudoscience, it's actually science. Well, not science. It's actually um, work
The
that attempt to
modern is science.
legitimize itself. It's not real science, but it attempts to mimic itself as real science. So pseudoscience, the use of the term pseudo in the community is just used generally to say you have false information, which is really what the word pseudo means in regular everyday usage. So if somebody says pseudo, what they're really saying is that your information is false. That's how I see it anyway.
Right. Okay. Okay. So it's false information at the end of the day.
Mm-hmm.
I got you with that. I got you with that. I got you with that. So, well, what are your relationships with individuals that practice pseudoscience?
Oh, pseudoscience. My whole thing is that I'm not a scientist. I'm not even that great at science, but I'm somebody who has taken the effort to learn about certain sciences, and I believe
Mm-hmm.
people who practice pseudoscience or promote pseudoscience um, in this community should be called out, and so I try to do that as much as possible. I am someone who believes that scientific literacy is the way of the future, and as a community, what we should try to do is to encourage the upcoming future generations
Mm-hmm.
to get more scientific literate.
Right.
Because I think per capita, as a people, in regards to scientific literacy, I believe black people are at the bottom, if not are close to it. And I believe that we should make a concerted effort to get future generations at the top instead of staying at the bottom.
Okay. 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 So your whole idea at the end of the day, right, is to push forth information, clarity, and understanding and advancement. So with the pseudos, right,
Mhm.
do you feel that they are one of the major reasons why Black people are behind when it comes down to academics and other forms of advancement in society?
Say that again.
When it comes down to the pseudos, right? Do you feel
Hmm.
like they are one of the reasons why Black people are behind in academics and in the advancement in society?
I don't know if I push it that I put it that far. The thing is, our status of being behind in the in terms of scientific literacy, I think it's more cultural and also as a result of our circumstances that we came up in. But I wouldn't specifically put it down to the folks that promote pseudoscience in our community. Although I will say, um, in terms of our current situation, they are not helping in terms of advancing not just the dialogue, but also certain practices that we as a people do. I believe they don't help, but I wouldn't put it down on them that they're are a reason or one of the reasons why we're in a situation that we are.
Well, check this out, right? Now,
Hmm.
me personally, I can say yes.
Hmm.
That's one of the reasons because there's a lot of superstitions that are extremely super duper pseudo, right? That Black
Hmm.
folk, right? And I'm from the South, I'm saying? I'm from Texas, you know what I'm saying? And um, I am a country bumpkin, and I done seen some extreme country bumpkin,
Yeah.
beliefs, you know what I'm saying? Like witch doctor type shit, you know what I'm saying? This shit is not gonna work, you know what I'm saying? We're in the 21st century. Leave that old third world country shit over there, you know what I'm saying? But what I'm saying is I kind of look at how when it comes down to the, pseudoscience and, pseudo linguistics, different arts of pseudo, you know what I'm saying? Different fighting
Hmm.
styles of pseudo, different styles of pseudo, right? I
Hmm.
see that, like, I'll give an example. I used to be in a group called The Final Battle, right? I used to be an administrator there, the original Final Battle. Shout
Hmm.
out to Tyreek. I used to be there, and there was this individual, I will not name him, but he, and Ratchet know him very well. But this guy, he was a extreme pseudo linguistic master, right? He was so powerful in his pseudo linguistics. He created his own language and then tried to say that his language was basically an offshoot of the original language that everyone spoke from the Tower of Babel.
Oh wow.
This this dude was that powerful. He had many people believing him. They was going to him instead of Google. You know what I'm
Hmm.
saying?
Hmm.
They was actually going to this guy. He was
Instead
making.
of etymology on online.com, they'll rather go to him.
Yeah, that guy was ferocious. He was like legendary, and he was making so much of a ruckus and noise. Right, you had
Hmm.
some linguistics. Right, they had a little fake profile, and they went in to get at him and stuff like that. Right,
Hmm.
and they embarrassed him and told his ass up. Right, but what he did when he was getting beat up, he was screaming and yelling and saying, the white man and all of them, they're trying to hide the truth from us because they don't want us to communicate like gods and all that crazy shit. And you have motherfuckers believing
Hmm.
that at the end of the day, right? And that was something that was pretty
Yeah.
much in a lot of ways lies upon lies. It was something that came out of this dude's imagination. These are individuals who actually studied the craft, did the work, and had the expertise. And you went with a dude that, in a lot of ways, cut hair at his mama house. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm. Yeah,
So
I want to say that, yeah, I get what you're saying, and I've come across individuals who I believe, I don't want to be insulting or anything, but who I believe is a little bit off, because somebody who actually believes that they have actually recreated the language that was spoken at Babel, it's somebody that's out there, is what I'm saying, and that I feel is also, I'm gonna be blunt about it and say that's also a problem in this community, is that there's a lot of issues mentally that are not being addressed, and I believe there's a lot of people who have mental issues and they're not being dealt with, and they come to the internet and they are given a voice to actually, put forth their information, and their mental issues are clear on display. But because I'm not a mental health professional, I would not go so far as to diagnose anyone. But I'm just saying, it's clear that some of these people have mental issue, and I actually see that as also a big problem in this community.
because I just want to say this, Google. I mean, that man. Let's just say if he did have a mental issue, right? But that guy was so powerful, man. He attracted a crowd. Like I was what? I'm 29 now. Met him when I was 19. So you still got individuals following him still to this day. You know what I'm saying? Still to this day. Still to this day.
Hmm.
I mean, like that dude was just that pop, that charisma was just on point like that, man. And excluding him,
Man, that dude hiding up on a rock right now. Cut it out.
hey man, his followers hiding up under a rock with him. You know what I'm saying?
I know they are. I know they
And
are.
he got that army ready to strike whenever. But but anyway, I gotta say this though, Google.
Yeah,
Um, misinformation. Well, black misinformation, right?
yeah.
Do you feel like to the youth of the community, right? The future, the
Hmm.
seeds, future forest. You know what I'm saying? Do you feel like that black misinformation corrupted the path of the young and the yet born in the black community?
Yeah, no, definitely. I do think it's a problem. It's a huge problem, and the information, especially coming out of the online quote unquote conscious community, it's a huge problem, because what happened is every day more and more people are finding the community, and they're coming in and leaving with a certain amount of misinformation, and they go out into the world with that misinformation, and it creates huge problem, because with that misinformation it creates roadblocks in terms of getting people correct information. So I do believe it's a huge problem. There are many lanes of misinformation in this community, and I can't address all of them personally, but I do believe they all need to be addressed and attacked and tore down.
I understand, because Google, this ain't your last show. This ain't no one and done. This is loud and clear, man. So we got to get everything
Loud
you
and
say
clear,
out.
of course.
You know what I'm saying? So,
Mm,
all right. So this is the thing here, right? That I'm somewhat curious about, right? So, of
mhm,
course, this is your first time coming out. You know what I'm saying? Like, boom,
mm,
Google Shadow. I mean, Google Scholars out the shadows. You know what I'm saying? And right
mhm.
there and there, you know what I'm saying? Boom, you already had a shark waiting for you. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
So
I no.
let me ask you this, Google. When it comes down to you personally, right?
Mhm.
Do you have respectful dialogues with individuals?
Yes. Me personally, I have respectful dialogue with most people I dialogue with.
Mm-hmm.
There are a few individuals who, for whatever reason, um, they they get I guess they get hurt by me or by. Listen, I know I'm not the most articulate person. I'm not the most charismatic person, but whenever I try to engage with someone, I always try to do it respectfully.
Right.
At least in the beginning, I usually don't get disrespectful with somebody unless they get disrespectful with me first. I always try to respect someone and their point of view. If I disagree with you, I can disagree with you without being disrespectful to you. And so I always try that. Um, I don't think with a clear conscience anybody can say that I'm a disrespectful person. I'm not saying either that I've never disrespected anyone, but on a whole, I don't think anybody who has have come across me, both in on the internet and in real life, can say that I'm a disrespectful person. I'm just not. I just was raised better.
Right. Right. Because the reason why I asked you that is, individuals like you, this Negro Ratchet Craig, and I guess me now, right? When we have conversations and we introduce, how can I put this? Scholarship, right? When we introduce scholarship, we introduce research, we introduce logic into certain conversations, right? I
Mhm.
noticed that you can be quite, respectful. You don't mean to hurt someone, and you don't mean to, step on any toes. And a lot of people would just get offended by what you're saying. It's like they get, that you just irk them the wrong way, right?
Yeah.
And maybe do you feel like they feel like you're trying to be more superior than you, or are they're just feeling inferior and trying to amp themselves up so they can match your level? Or what do you feel about that?
No, it's a good point you touch on because I've had on more than one occasion that a lot of people like tell me like, "Oh, you just think you're better than the rest of us," and I'm in no way ever talking to somebody on the internet and thinking, "Yeah, I'm better than this person." I might think I know more than you, but then again, that can be subjective because I may know more in a certain area, but you may know more overall. You get what I'm saying? So
Right.
I never go into a conversation with somebody thinking that they're less than me. But I guess depending on how the conversation goes, people have their own insecurities, and so those insecurities may come out. So when I dialogue with someone, especially when it comes on to the things that they hold as sacred, it's inevitable. You expect that there are going to be some pushback from them when you point certain things out. So I expect it in that way. But I still am a person also. I got red blood just like everybody else. So sometimes I can, I can be pushed in a certain
Hey,
direction. You know what I'm saying?
Google Scholar, could I ask
Hmm.
you a question right quick, brother?
Hmm.
We have our guy Lee Mack on here. I don't know what you did to that man.
Yeah, no, I told you he's one of my haters.
Yeah. I don't know what he do. He said Google Scholar lost his mind when I pointed out there is no such thing as fallacy of the category. What's that? Syllogism. What's that word, Craig?
Mm.
I
It's
ain't
a
good.
syllogism. Yeah,
Yeah.
this guy
And he
is
began to
somebody who
disrespect that
claims he's
day.
a
You were
scholar.
being disrespectful that day, brother. I just want you to know that.
Mhm.
Hey, I'm
I'm
trying.
just saying, according to Lil Mac, I ain't got no reason not to believe him at this point. He seemed like an
Mhm.
okay guy with me. So
Cause
yeah.
No, no. Listen, I, as I just stated before, I never stated that I've never disrespected anybody because I
Yeah.
know that I have. But I'm saying,
Was he one of your
generally,
victims that you did it to?
possibly, but
He said
generally,
possibly, yeah.
when
what?
I disrespect somebody, they usually disrespect me first. And I was in a group with this guy, and this guy is very disrespectful. And then, but when I guess a hit dog hollers, so he
He
gets
died.
disrespectful, and when you disrespect him back, now he has something to say. I have no problems with saying I've disrespected people before. I did it. Everybody does it. But
Yep, facts,
generally,
facts. We
I
all
am
here.
somebody who is very respectful of people.
We
And
all
DMG can tell
human.
you that.
We all are human.
Yeah.
Human. Yeah, we all are human.
Man, okay.
Yes.
All right. He said you're a liar, man. I'm
Uh,
trying to pick you up.
yeah,
Trying
and
to pick
another
you
thing
up.
I find with this guy, there's something wrong with this guy. I'm diagnosing this guy. This
He
guy,
said, this.
yeah, this guy has an issue where he likes to record you and screenshot every little thing you say and try to use that as a gotcha. But he can say
Oh,
whatever
he
he
a
wants.
got you got
Whatever
type
I
of guy.
said before, I said it and I stand by it. And if he doesn't like it, too bad for him.
Damn.
So hold on, Lee Mac. Do you want that smoke with Google Scholar? Like you want to have that smoke with him one day or something? You know what I'm saying? Because I'm always trying to set up something. I ain't gonna lie. I'm
And
that guy.
and now that I think about it, Google did say give me anybody. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
And
yeah, we can have a little innocent conversation because we gotta check his temperature because he might be crazy as hell, like Google say, or he might be Google might miscategorize the guy. He might be the greatest guy ever.
No,
We
yeah,
don't know.
no, he's a liar. That guy is a liar. I can prove that.
he's a liar. You're a liar. We're all
Yeah,
liars.
yeah, both
Mhm.
liars. Yeah, we had to bring
No,
that
but
up
the
too.
difference is I'm wicked, so I can lie, but he's a Christian. He's not supposed to lie.
Oh man, you pulled over there. Oh, good one, Google. Good. You supposed to do what you do. Why
Yeah.
he do what he do? He's a black backslider. He's a
Yeah.
sinner.
You know what? You know what? You know, yeah. I just had to think about it. Y'all both atheists. Y'all both going to hell. I just forgot.
Yeah, we both go to hell, me and Google.
Mhm.
I
Yeah,
forgot.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
But
I know I'm going to hell if he has anything to do
If
with
it's
it.
a hell below, I'm like Curtis Mayfield. If it's a hell below, we all gonna go, include your ass too. You God believing person. Yeah, yeah.
but I this is one thing. We could probably set that up with Lamac, you know what I'm saying? We could probably set that up, see what the brother's talking about, give him a fair shot. You might be lying, Google. I hope you're not, because man, hey man,
Yeah,
if you're
yeah.
lying,
This
Google,
show is about you, brother.
yeah,
Ah,
We don't
I
no
want
was
need
serious.
to
our
lie.
special guests to be lying and shit.
Yeah. I did my homework was wrong. You know how I get about my homework. I like to be perfect all the damn time.
Yeah, you like to be perfect. You got issues, brother.
Yeah, I sure
You
do.
like
I
to be
think
perfect.
I got issues. But
Yeah, shit.
but one thing about it, Google. Another question I got, right?
Hmm.
The pseudos, right? You were really, really expressive when you were talking about them pseudos. I noticed that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So
Hold on, Craig. Hold on before you get into the question. I got to ask DLG a question. What time y'all show gonna be? You and nobody. Just let me know. Put it in the chat so we can know how to schedule this. Go ahead, Craig.
yeah, that's cool. Yeah, let us know, DMG and nobody. But getting back to it, right? You was really expressive when you was talking about what what pseudo was. You know what I'm saying? Real expressive. You went to pseudoscience, pseudo linguistics. I think you even said about like pseudo archaeology at the end.
Pseudo history. Yeah, there's all kinds of pseudos.
Pseudo history, and but let's put it to you like this, right? Check it out. When it comes down to the pseudo, right? Because me and Ratchet, we categorize these creatures in specific species, and we even have a genus for them. Pseudoropicus. You know what I'm saying?
So,
So yeah, so we categorize these creatures based off their evolutionary advantages and how far they can manipulate and utilize and even channel the energies of pseudo at the end of the day, right? Because man, we've we've
you
seen,
said you said pseudo evolution advantages, bro. Did you
yeah,
say that?
yeah,
Oh, okay, go ahead.
yeah.
Oh, that was cold. That was cold.
We gonna do this because we are pseudo zoologists. You know what I'm saying? We understand these
You said
creatures.
pseudo zoologist. Oh man, you on fire right now. You on fire.
We
Go
understand.
ahead.
We even know how to tame them. Ladies and gentlemen, we will show you how we tame these horrible beasts. Get ready to see our creation in today's mathematics.
He go to T'Challa. Gil
Yeah.
T'Challa
I think
trolling.
still there, Craig.
Yeah.
Yeah, they go Gil. Hey, he's trolling. He said, "Is Google Scholar a pseudo with a
I
question
might
mark?"
be, but
He might be.
I
But
I
might
might
be.
be. I
but yeah,
might
But let's
be.
see.
Yeah.
but
Let's
yo,
see what pseudo information I spread. Uh, I haven't spread any pseudoscience. I
yeah,
haven't spread any pseudo history, any pseudo linguistics, any pseudo archaeology. Pretty much, I tend to stay in the mainstream when it comes to scholarship.
man.
So if that's pseudo, then I guess
That
I'm
white
pseudo.
man information, bro. That's white man information, the government
Oh, okay.
information. Yeah.
But check this out though. So so Google, right? Because Ratchet and me have Ratchet have a understanding of the pseudo as a creature, right?
Hmm.
Do you feel like you have an understanding on why the pseudo is a pseudo at the end of the day? Can you put yourself in that pseudo shoes?
Um, I don't know if I can say there's a reason why a pseudo is a pseudo, because people have different motivations and, like I mentioned, different biases. So, say for example, somebody can be a pseudo because they're just deliberately promoting misinformation. That does happen. So that's still a pseudo.
Mm.
There's also somebody who's presented misinformation that genuinely thinks that they're promoting the right information. So in essence, that's still a pseudo, but that person has a different motivation and come from a different perspective. So I don't know if you can say that there's this thing that makes a pseudo, other than the fact that the person is spreading misinformation. But yeah, I think there are different types of people who are pseudo, and I wouldn't be too hasty to put all of them in the same basket.
Well, here's the thing, right?
Mhm.
Now, this would make Ratchet and me so bold, right? We categorized them. We opened a taxidermy about these creatures at the end of the day, right?
He said a taxidermy, not a taxonomy, a taxidermy.
Taxidermy.
That's hard.
Yeah, so I had to we had to correct you there, but we gotta have you for that show later on too. We I've discovered, right, that the main sources of a pseudo's fuel is, drum roll please,
Da-da-da-da.
it is ego and it is
Oh.
validation, right? It is an extreme lusting of being the source of it all. You know what I'm saying? It makes their existence feel more pleasing to be a part of
And
the
do not
possibility.
leave, Lamech. Lamech, do not leave, brother. We about to wind up the show. I want you to be here to the end, brother.
Yeah, hold up.
We got like 15 more minutes, bro.
Yeah,
Okay.
I got to nub this down. So the possibility of them impacting human life as we know it. I didn't want to do this, but I have to say this because I will be punching this pseudo in the face real soon with his stupid logic and his stupid pseudoscience and his stupid pseudo head. Now, Google, you spoke with this individual before, right? He believes that he has a fetish for electromagnetism, right? And what he said, he would say God is light, right? And light is
Oh,
electricity.
okay.
Now, don't say his name because I have a great bias for this individual. So much of a bias that I believe he should be put down and spaded, right? Because his pseudo is so dangerous it could destroy the black community as a whole, not build us up. Not like York and all them. He'll just destroy us. He would make us actually devolve. And that doesn't even exist. And that doesn't even exist. He would make it
He
exist.
was gonna get science, bro. He gonna go get biological science. Devolve.
Devolve. You know what I'm saying? Devolve. But what I'm saying is, right, with that individual, the ego of him feeling like he knows what the hell he's talking about, right? And even though people say that his stuff is dangerous if it gets out, right? And make people believe it, because I think you told him that it made him feel empowered. He felt proud. You know what I'm saying? Even though his shit was horrible. He was on some X-Men shit. The nigga thought he was Magneto. Literally. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'll give another example right quick, right? With the pseudo, right? It's a feel good, empowering, belief at the end of the day. It's just like when, and yeah, you're right, Gib. York was the best lyricist ever. He really was. You know what I'm saying? Hey.
Yeah, you brought up York. You knew Gail was gonna come out there and like do his thing.
So Gib is like what, a former Noir?
Yeah, he's a former New Waffle, yeah, but you know, he like that. York wrote all the books. You know what I'm saying? He had all that information, and York is like the real godfather of the country community. We talk about Sardella.
Yeah, but the thing about York and all those, by the time I came in the community, they were pretty much already discredited. So I never really,
But see,
nah. They all in religions, bro. He is running the religion and the pseudoism, right? Especially the Kemet motherfucker. Especially the Kemet. He run that block, nigga, when it comes to Kemet.
And I'm gonna tell you another thing too, Google. And I think I told Gab this, but I have a relative that have all of Dr. York's books. He has them all documented when he first started. Before he even started his Nuwapianism, you know what I'm saying? I have all that. You know, he have all his evolutionary journey and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? Gab said, discredited, you still jock his style today. We probably do. You know what I'm saying? Probably do, but but anyway.
No, but we can still use his style. But I was referring more to his information, not his style.
Oh shit, you heard that, Gab?
Uh-oh.
Yeah, he had a fly style, but his business, his information was garbage.
Hey,
many people like that though in this community.
I gotta say this: the oils that man wore, Dr. York, man, you can pull any woman in the world with them oils, man. I'm just saying that. Hey, I ain't gonna lie. I kind of rock.
Call me pseudo. Yes, it's true. That's a true statement. Call me pseudo. That statement is real.
Yeah, I don't know who makes this man's oil. It was lost in the transfer between the Biru and the green light. Whoever oils, man, this guy is a god amongst men, a mystical entity walking in human flesh that knows a lot about sports. I don't know who this individual is. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, what's Gab saying? Information is still being used today. You pseudos don't have a clue. Probably.
No. By the time I came into the community, Dr. York's information was already discredited. He may have been a good speaker, a very entertaining and charismatic guy, but his information was already discredited. And people still out there may have using information today, but by and large, we know that information is not credible anymore. So that's a factual statement.
Well, but okay, so to Gab's point, Google, I understand what he's saying, because York has in a lot of ways influenced a lot of the so-called conscious community, content creators that we know today. You see what I'm saying? Like, understand you're saying that his information has been discredited, but tell that to a young Pharaoh fan. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm saying people still use it. I'm not even taking away that from, and I agree with you that he influenced a lot of people in the community today, and there are people who still use his information. But let's be real. the people that take young Pharaoh seriously, do you take them seriously?
Nah, I sure do.
That's what I'm saying.
Dang. Hmm. But here's the thing. I don't take them seriously, but let's put it to you like this. You got more people that would listen to that because they relate to that, right?
Mm-hmm.
More than someone who is college educated. They'll say he's a sellout and stuff like that. I'm gonna rock with young Pharaoh over here, who's pretty much on the side of the street, repping that we aliens and stuff like that. And we, melanin is made out of dark matter. You know what I'm saying? He look like me, he act like me, he on the street like me, he work a 9 to 5 like me. So I'm gonna listen to this dude because he relate to me. You know what I'm saying? So I kind of see what Geb is saying with that, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But this is the thing right here, right? And this leads to my other question that I want to ask you. Google, a lot of blacks will run around and they will say things to people that are well educated, right? Like you've seen the Unc West. Shout
Mm-hmm.
out to Leandre, the Slim Reaper. I mean, you've seen individuals like, I gotta put Chris in there too. You know what I'm saying? Individuals who are educated, Jabari, you got, like individuals who are well educated, right?
Mm-hmm.
You've seen how they would slander them and say that you think like the white man. You have white man knowledge. Your mind has been whitewashed and all these other things. You know what I'm saying? So,
Mm-hmm.
why do you feel that individuals who did the work, got the knowledge, and did it the right way and actually know methodology don't have this much push or say so when it comes down to information with our people?
Yeah, because this community by and large is was created on a sort of Afrocentric, Africa first mentality, and so a lot of the misinformation in the beginning was centered towards pushing back against like things like white supremacy and the lessening of black history, and so that's the root of it. So now when somebody goes and get a proper education and get the qualifications necessary and is pushing back against some of the information that, even though that information was wrong at the time, it was somewhat necessary. Now when somebody goes and is pushing back on that information, of course they will get labeled as a sellout or somebody who's using the white man information. Listen, I don't even have that education, and I get that criticism like all the time, like on a
Right.
regular basis. So I understand it. People are pushing back against what they see as an effort to minimize black people and black history. But actually, what happened is that because of the effort to whiten history, a lot of people back in the early days, they went overboard in the opposite direction. So what happened is that um, the white supremacist scholars, they tried to make everything white, and so in order to push back against that, the black scholars, they went and pushed as hard as they could and tried to make everything black. But at the end of the day, the truth is somewhere in the middle, so there should be a balance. But because we have been conditioned to think that, yeah, all this is black, and so if you're going against any of that, then you're actually doing white supremacy, and so that's the pushback, and I understand the pushback. But yeah, it's a firm thing planted in the minds of our people, and this community especially was created off the back of that dynamic. So
Mm-hmm.
you're always going to get that, I think, until the community becomes more scientifically literate.
Okay. Okay. All right. I got you with that. So, okay. In a minute, we're gonna get ready to wrap it up, but there's a few things I gotta ask you before we wrap it up, Google. Ratchet, you got anything to say to the G man before I give him his?
Man, Google Scholar, do it. I ain't got nothing to add. I'm just kind of trolling the comment section a little bit. This
I got you, man.
Yeah, there's something else I also want to point out because I probably didn't get the chance to point this out. That
Go ahead.
even though I know a bit of uh history, I don't know too much history. I know a bit. I more deal with certain sciences more than history, but I really like to focus on science more than history. But I do know a bit of history, and so I get into it. But what I find is that I also know a bit about Islam, but nobody ever actually challenges me on Islam.
Ooh.
oh
Hey,
we
hey, you know one thing
So
about Islam? I gotta say this. I did not know how many different sects of Islam there was. You know what I'm saying?
mhm,
That's like it's like I wouldn't say it's you know how Hindu and the Hindu culture
mhm,
and
yeah,
their religion also how they have different parts of Hindu and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying?
mhm,
Islam is like that in a lot of ways. Like not like that, but they're like that in their own different,
yeah.
different ways. You see what I'm saying?
yeah,
Yeah,
you can't
no,
do it because
go ahead.
they all go under the umbrella of Allah, just like everybody go under the umbrella of Jesus Christ. We Christians, but it's different sects when you break them down and study it. Though it's
Yeah, no,
plenty of
even well, they're even within let's say, all right. So we know Islam, the two main sects are Shia, Sunni, right? But even within that dynamic, you have so many different divisions in those sects. It's like hundreds.
Man.
Hey, so when it comes to the Islamic debate, what is you trying to debate? Like, look, Kyle, we got to get you. You want to do that? You've been trying to call people out for a while. Everybody, right? I think the Islamic people are the biggest cowards it is anyway. Me
Yeah.
personally,
Yeah,
they
they don't generally want to debate because to be fair, a lot of them they try to shy away from orthodox. A lot of people in this community they try to shy away from Orthodox Islam, and even though they're not representative of the Nation of Islam, they sort of try to fall somewhere in the middle where they're not Nation of Islam, but they're not fully Orthodox Islam. So so that's I feel like it's a kind of get out of jail free card where if
bruh,
someone comes to you
they
and
cowards.
yeah, is
They
trying to attack
cowards to me.
NOI,
I
and you
learned.
can say, yeah, I'm not really NOI, so you're not talking about me. And if you
Yeah,
go at Orthodox Islam, they say, well, yeah, I believe in some of that, but not really all of it.
the other people they want to debate is Christians, bruh.
Hmm.
Yeah, that's a
Well, and,
cap.
and that's one I say about Christians is that Christians they will step up to the debate. They will step up and they will take that debate, but the Muslims not too much.
It's chaos. That's my analogy of you Islamic people. Y'all prove me wrong. Call Google Scholar out. He don't know nothing about Islam. I'm gonna ride with you. I'm gonna get in the car with you.
Yeah, he doesn't understand that Elijah Muhammad created heaven in his garage. And
No,
he
we don't want we want the other Islam, not the
No,
nation
we're
Islam.
talking about Orthodox Islam, not NOI.
wait, hold
Yeah,
on,
NOI is they weak. They weak. Anybody
hold,
beat
hold,
them
hold on,
over
hold on,
here.
hold on, brother. How did that to the honorable Elijah Muhammad, man? He created heaven in his garage, bro. That's the
No,
Listen,
that's fine.
listen. I'm gonna agree with you that I have respect for what the Honorable Elijah Muhammad did, and I'm calling the Honorable because even though he did some things that are bad, I have respect for what he did in creating the NOI. But in terms of being factual, I don't take the NOI too seriously because we know they're not really Muslims, right? They're not. They're not. The Quran actually um, lays out what a Muslim is, and the NOI violates that in so many different ways. So, and even though the Orthodox Muslims, right, for numbers, when they're trying to get their numbers up, they will accept the NOI as Muslim, but they really don't accept them as Muslim because they don't allow them to do Hajj. If they were really Muslims, they would allow them to do Hajj.
Dang.
Somebody said, "How many wives did Abraham? How many wives did Abraham have?" Somebody asked that question, brother.
Abraham, I think Abraham only had one wife. He had
Yeah, two I know of.
well, he had one wife and Agar, which was not really his wife, but his wife handmaid.
That handmaid, correct,
Yeah.
correct. That's correct. Do you agree with that, brother Gil T'Challa, when he said that? Gil act like he wants to smoke with you, Google. He trying to feel you out, like he may want to challenge you on your
No,
Islam.
if he wants to step up and represent Islam, we could chop it up.
Yeah, yeah, chop it up. Gabe, we can have a conversation. We got to get Gabe over here. Gabe a beast, man. Uh, we got to get him over here.
Yeah,
We
yeah.
we we'll want to be over there in the sports dungeon. I know he get tired of being the sports guy all the time. Got to
Mhm.
get back where I knew him from.
I don't think
They,
Gib.
about the
Oh,
information.
I don't think he get tired at all. But this is the thing though, right? I do have to ask Google these two killer questions. You know what I'm saying? I do have to ask him this.
Mhm.
Yo, Google. The show is very entertaining, right? I feel like this gives you a different light, right? That most people are, you know, not used to seeing from
Yeah.
you, right? But I gotta ask you this, right? You talked about how the Muslims are scary, right? But there's a particular type of pseudo that me and Ratchet are, trying to understand. You know what I'm saying? Since we are pseudozoologists, you know, we have been studying this creature, and when we thought we had, we had the genus and everything, right? I'll tell you the genus in a minute. But when we thought we had the species all understood, in one particular species of pseudo, right? It jumped right back up and just surprised us. So we're talking about pseudogenus Aborigiclocopus, and we're speaking about the one and only
I'm done. I'm done.
Sorry.
one aloof,
I'm done with you, bro.
the one and only disingenuous, the one and only delusional, and the one and only emotionally unstable and dangerous Negro Abo.
Oh my God, man! I used to say like the people that I have the least time for were flat earthers, but I think the Arbors have actually come in and taken the number one spot. Like I have no respect for a Arbor,
Mhm.
none,
Told you, Craig. I told Craig
none,
the
like
flat Earth
zero.
was elbows at the bottom,
I mean,
nigga. They in the
uh,
same thing.
I'll shoot a flat earther on site. So, you know,
Yeah,
I'll shoot one on site. But
Yeah, but go ahead, Google. Yeah,
yeah,
I
but
told.
for
I'm
me,
just
the
running.
Arbors are below that because and I know you have different varieties of them that say different things, but they're basically all saying the same thing, and they're denying the fundamental part of our history because they're actually denying that we come from Africa and that we are African, and that to me is not only insulting, it's disgusting.
Yeah, and they try to disprove that we did not come from Africa, right?
Mhm.
That's all they try to do is South Africa, right? That we came from it. They don't never provide how they are Aboriginal, no type of way.
Yeah, yeah, that too. Their whole strategy is discrediting that we are Africans. They have no strategy in actually proving who they are if they're not African.
That's interesting. So the elusive Negro Abo, you say, try to disprove that we are African, right? So here's my thing, Google. What were your encounters with these elusive and savage beasts like?
Well, mostly I've never actually had a one-on-one with any Abos. I've talked to a few before, but only like on panels with different other people, and it always go left because this is one of the times where I get disrespectful. Yes, I just don't have any respect for Abo.
I see, I see. So it's just so you end up fighting for your life to get out of there
Mhm.
in a lot of
Yeah,
ways. That's interesting. Wow. So because we Ratchet and me are going to do a little bit more of a study on the elusive Negro Abo. You know what I'm saying?
Craig, we got to go to cut off, Craig. It's about
Yeah.
that time. Yeah,
We are
we
gonna
got.
we are gonna do a study more on that, right? And the last question, this will wrap it up, you know what I'm saying, with it, Google Scholar, right?
yeah.
And I would like to ask you this, right? Google, will you be back for more shows, brother? We got to get you back because you have an interesting intake on things. Will you be back, bro?
No,
On
I definitely
it.
be back. I definitely be back. As long as I'm available and you guys want to do it, I definitely do
Yeah,
it.
Appreciate that, brother.
we appreciate
Appreciate
you,
it.
man. We
Yeah.
appreciate you,
I
man.
got a few more
Break it up.
You're breaking
people
up.
that I want to they're not so low on the pseudo list like the Abos are.
Oh, wait. You say
I'm
you got
sorry.
some individuals that you want to deal
I don't
with
know
and
if you
stuff
all will
like
hear me.
that?
Yeah. If you want to call
Not necessarily
anybody out,
individuals, but no,
topic.
anybody in particular. But I'm talking about the Kemetic folks who are pushing Black Egypt.
Ooh, ooh.
Also the pseudos who are pushing that pseudo a connection between
Christianity came.
the linguistic connection between West Africa and Kemet. I also want to call those people out because they're
Ooh,
pseudos.
Oh man.
well,
Hey Morphe. Hey Morphe.
shout
Hey, we
out
love
to
you.
Morphine and her more contentious media. You will see her on Wednesdays, ladies and gentlemen.
That's a
Wednesday.
political show.
Yeah, she does
Yeah,
a lot of topics, but
yeah.
we're doing
Political,
some political.
basically. Yeah. She got a
Yeah,
series of political shows coming up. Yes, that's what she's doing. But
yeah.
she
I'll
very
probably check it out this Wednesday because I do actually uh, like a good political discussion as well.
Oh yeah. Oh man, Jack of all
They go,
trades.
they go one right there, Morphine. They go one right there. We got the infamous Google Scholar.
The infamous Google Scholar. And one thing about Google, he is not afraid to use Google and tell your ass you are wrong.
Because he
Yes,
go to the
really.
correct source.
Mhm.
And he knows how to comprehend.
Ha ha.
Yeah,
The
but yo, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, and Gail.
Gib. He said Gib.
And Gail, we gotta end this show because we got another banging coming up. What we got coming up, Ratchet?
uh, well, next we got DMG and Nobody about the country community. R.I.P. to the country community. I want to know where they going with this from. What angle they going with it from? It might be a string. It might be some Christian moral value craziness, right? Or they
Man,
might
it's
have
Okay.
logic.
it's 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 it's,
Aha.
it's that wild fool DMG and that thug nobody, man. Of course
Yeah,
it's
the
gonna be
thug
wild.
nobody.
It's gonna be wild in a mug, man. You saw how
Yeah, I
nobody
do.
was trying to crucify polite last night with no evidence. They're like, burn
It was
him, he's a witch. Yeah. Damn right, nobody. Damn right. But yeah,
damn right. I don't like him neither. He a
yeah.
scammer.
Morphine said, "Oh, cool. He can fact check for me." Yeah, Google will do that. He sure would. He have no problem. It would be his honor to do
It'd
that.
be his honor. Yeah, he's a dedicated fact.
He a fact checking fanatic. But yo, I gotta say this though, ladies and gentlemen. You know, we gotta end this show. I don't feel like getting cussed out by DMG.
Yeah, you about to get cussed out. I ain't with you. I'm gonna bail out on your ass.
Yeah, I know you a whole ass nigga.
Yeah. Don't worry about it. But let us get your new intro on the way out. So say your last words before you hear the intro.
I just want to say, man, I love y'all for coming out to my first show loud and clear.
Right,
even
man.
though my intro does not say loud and clear, but
yeah, we gonna get it update that. Yes, but
yeah,
you didn't know your show was gonna be loud and clear until today, nigga. Cut that out.
And another thing. I was just joking, Gab. I knew that, Gab. Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, if you love sports, come down every Sunday for the Sports Dungeon featuring the one and only and the mighty Gab T'Challa. It's 4:30 Central Time, 5 o'clock Eastern Time. I don't know the other time because I don't care about the other time. So anyway, let's go ahead and go.
Yo. Tell me one time. Look, I exist in all dimensions, flesh bound. The stale money from the mattress, bought a fresh pound. Leather on the steering wheel, it got my palm chilly. Short necklace with the long willy, calm really. And it ain't even about the fame, it's about the bread lost. The intern, shorty take me to the boss. Know they tried to count me out, but couldn't count high enough. I ain't gotta hear the album, listen to them lie enough. Bad little baby fed by the cornbread. I don't need designer, I wear my own thread. Take it from the label, put it in the homestead. I don't borrow little, I loan bread. I do it for the underground that ain't promoted. Crumble up the cookies, got me coughing like the COVID. Go straight from Saudi to Audi, coming from Germany. I ain't gotta speak when I enter, the winners heard of me. Feeling like the summer beach side in the winter. With my lords throwing east side out the Sprinter. Used to borrow mama's whip, I had to drop some gas in it. Use my own, and now I got it dropping, then it sliding through.
We out of here. Peace.
Later, folks.